In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the cryptocurrency SEI. I'm going to share with you what chart patterns I see on the chart right now, where I think it might be headed in this bull run, and whether or not I'm going to be buying in. Let's jump right into it. If you like this type of content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more. All right, so on the chart right now, I've got the weekly time frame on a logarithmic scale. And so I mentioned that there are multiple patterns here. There's two that I want to share with you inside of this video. Before I get into those two, I do want to point out this kind of formation that we have right now. And what I see is a very nice and clean retracement. Using the Fibonacci retracement tool, we see price from the low back in 2023, October of 2023. So not too long ago, about over a year ago, come up to where we had the local high in March of 2024, come back and retrace to the 0.618 level. And if you're not familiar with Fibonacci and Fibonacci retracements, it's a measurement of a swing low and a swing high. And we're measuring to see where price comes and retraces. And at these different levels, these are like magnets, and price loves to come back to some of these key levels. And the 0.618 level is also known as the golden ratio. Doesn't mean that price always comes back to this level, but when you see it come back to this level, it oftentimes can be the start of a reversal and a new trend. And when you see it come back so cleanly, it just gives more of a probability that price could be looking to reverse. So we've got that to our advantage. Also, we have first of the two patterns, which I'm going to show you the first one that I think is forming right now, which is the cup and handle pattern, the cup and handle continuation pattern. And I've been talking about this on a lot of my videos. So if you've seen this before, just know that the entire market, not the entire market, but a lot of the market in crypto is forming this pattern. And when I see so many different cryptos forming this pattern, I think it just gives more of a probability that the pattern will play out. This is a cup and handle pattern where we have price come up, meet a level of resistance, then make this series of lower lows and lower highs. And it basically makes a big U-turn to come back to that level of resistance. And when it does, it makes a small pullback, which is the handle, and it creates this cup and handle pattern like you were taking a sip of your coffee or your tea, kind of like a teacup. And when it does make that pullback and create this entire cup and handle pattern, then we will see price go up to the upside. And so right now I am seeing the start and kind of in the middle of the cup and handle pattern. So I would say that we're a little early, but what I can tell right now is that we've got the series of lower lows and lower highs that have been forming over here. We had a low in August of 2024, and then price is continuing to move back to the upside in a series of higher highs and higher lows. So I think over the next few months, we will see price continue in this direction. I also think that once it hits this resistance level, which is at about basically $1, so that's a psychological level, resistance level, I think we will get a pullback, and that will be the handle part of this cup and handle pattern. So I think we're in the middle of it, and we don't necessarily know for sure if it's actually going to form that pattern. But I will definitely be keeping an eye on it, because if it does, what we can already do is start to measure where the price target would be. We can do that by measuring the distance from the bottom of the cup all the way up to this resistance level, which I like to call the lid. Once we take that measurement, we would then set it on top of the lid, and that high would be our price target. So let's take a look on the chart right now. Let's actually get a measurement. So as I mentioned, we would measure from the bottom, and I'm going to measure from these candle closes, not from this wick, just to be a little bit more conservative. and I'll measure it right here to where we had these candle closes up here. So that gives us our measurement. And then if we look here, we would place that measurement on top where we believe that price would break out at that resistance level. So then we would place it over here. And then that would set our new price target, which would be at around $3.80 and above. If that were to play out, and where we are right now at 62 cents, that would be around a 6x. A 6x from where we are right now. And from the low, if you were to get in all the way down here at 20 cents, that would be a 18x return. So pretty sizable return. We've seen that in crypto over the years. I mean, even in fact, this other low to the top, let's see, from basically 10 cents up to $1. So that's an 11x right there. That was just in the beginning of this coin. I know this is one that hasn't been around for multiple cycles. So it is possible that we see that run up. And one thing you have to pay attention to as well is when you're looking at the prices of these different cryptocurrencies, you can't just think, oh, just because one is cheap, that means it can run, it can go up multiple dollars or hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. You have to look at the market cap. The market cap basically is how valuable or how much money is in that token. And so the higher the market cap, the harder it is for it to move one way or the other. For instance, Bitcoin is at over, I think it's almost at $2 trillion at the time of this recording. It's harder for Bitcoin to, get a return of 10x or 100x because it's huge, it's massive. And so the coins that have a smaller market cap are a little bit more risky just in general, but they do have more opportunity to run up. And so with this one being at 2.64 billion, it has room. If it were to even 20x, then you'd be looking at, around a $50 to $60 billion market cap, which is still reasonable. It's not in the trillions of dollars. So it is possible to see a move up this way, up to, even up to $4. That would still be reasonable for the entire crypto market. So you just have to compare and just be aware of the market cap and not just look blindly at what price level it's at. So let me share with you the second pattern, which is the ascending triangle pattern. And this is a textbook version of it, but not all the time does it look quite like this. In fact, rarely does it look quite like this. But what you have is price coming up to, again, another resistance level. And then this trend line down here is the support, and price basically goes back and forth, creating a series of higher lows and then, of course, highs along that trend line. Once price gets towards the apex of the triangle, it will usually either break to the upside or sometimes it does break to the downside. Just depends on what it is, and you have to pay attention to see what price is doing. But we can also get a profit target by measuring the distance between the bottom of that first pivot down all the way up to the resistance level, and then copying and pasting that essentially at the top of that resistance level, and that will give us our profit target. And so I know it may be a little difficult to see it right now, but again, I think it's early on SEI right now where we would have this series of higher lows. So we have this resistance level set in, but if we continue to make higher lows and we keep hitting on the support, at some point, price is going to get right into the apex of this triangle. And again, if we were to measure from the bottom to the top of this resistance level and paste it above, that's where we would get a price target. And because I went down to the wick on this one, that would actually give us a price target of about $4.60, between $4.60 and $4.70. And so both of those patterns, the cup and handle pattern and the ascending triangle pattern, kind of fit together. If we see price continue to go up like this, that would complete the rounding of the the cup part of the cup and handle pattern. And we could see a pullback off of this resistance. And then also with the ascending triangle, we could also see that pullback, that handle part of the cup and handle be inside of this triangle right before it goes to the upside. And the price targets are both very similar in that we're measuring from the top of this resistance down to the bottom of this pattern. So big question being, well, does that mean that I'm going to be buying in? In fact, I will not be buying in yet. Not yet. So I want to wait to see what happens once price comes near this resistance level, because it is possible that it breaks to the downside. I don't necessarily think it's going to do that, but I want to get a little bit more confirmation and confidence that we are going to break to the upside. I'm also looking to see if we can make this rounding pattern like so, and then a little bit of a pullback with some type of bullish candlestick pattern to give me confidence that we're going to come up and then continue on. So it is a good spot. If you believe in SEI for the long term, then, and if you think it's going to continue to go up, then now may not be the bad time to get in, just because it's still a little bit below this resistance level and it can continue to go up even before it hits the resistance level and before it breaks out to the upside. But of course, this is not financial advice. Make sure that you do your own due diligence, do your own research and analysis. I'm just a guy on the internet and I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. So hopefully you can learn from that. But otherwise, I'll be waiting. I think that if it does create this rounding pattern and then has a pullback, maybe at around 75 cents or maybe even slightly lower, then, and I see that bullish, either a bullish engulfing candle or some other type of bullish candlestick pattern, then I'll look to buy in and ride up to, at least $3.50, if not $4. So that's my analysis on SEI. Of course, again, hit the like button if you found something valuable in this, or if you learned something new, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.